Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Elizibar. I recorded this one. I didn't like it, so I'm doing it again. We're talking about The Hero, number 26. I kickstarted this thing. Let's move in a little bit. I was expecting to get this, and at the tier I kickstarted, I expected to get this thing, which is just full of some pretty cartoon strip art. It's really nice looking stuff. The comics. So these are like weird publications I've never heard of before that are ongoing. The main book was this, of course, with art from Steve Ditko. And I think a lot of this material in the book itself is all reprints, judging by this over here. Let's move the camera a little bit. Look at that. That's like the original Blue Beetle, 1939. Isn't that crazy? Mystery Men Comics number 1. But what I really like the art in here, like, oh my gosh, there we go. It's like, it's beautiful Steve Ditko line work. Like, there's not much to say. I haven't read it yet, so maybe I'm going to read this and find these stories are terrible, but I doubt it. Steve Ditko work is basically the same no matter what. But what I really liked, this stuff. This is like back matter for DC's Blue Beetle, I think. I mean, we got Ted Cord, you know, there's like all this good stuff here. There's a lot of interesting material in this that I look forward to reading again. I skimmed over all this stuff. Like, look at this. It's like a total photocopy of a relationship chart, like showing who relates to who in the story. It's pretty cool. I really like that. I'm like having a fanboy moment. It's hard to think of what to say. That was the problem with the first time I recorded this. So we got this thing. It's actually pretty cool. I don't know what I was expecting when I backed this. I was just like, you know, this sounds kind of interesting. I'll just throw $13, I think, at it. Like, it wasn't that much money. Then I was expecting this, and I expected that. And then I also got this neat little mini comic newsletter type thing. It's all about Speedball. That's such a weird thing. I don't know who Rob Imes is, but I think in search of Steve Ditko, there's some interesting stuff here. But I think Rob Imes is the artist that did this little comic in here. Yeah, see, it says right there, R. Imes. And when I opened this up, it opened up to, I think, this page, this little fold right here. And there was this. It's actually original panel art. And there's a note from Rob Imes. Here's a panel that was left out of the Kickback meets Jinkersory in the new DM. You can use this panel in the comics if you want. And that's exactly this story. So this might be the first... Oh my gosh. Move down a little bit. This might be the first piece of original comic art that I've ever had. And it came in this. It's pretty cool. It's got pretty good line work. It's very old. Old school. Like, makes me think of comics from a long time ago. Oh, look at that face she's got up there. Anyway, this was a wonderful surprise. This whole little booklet right here. And this wonderful piece of... Now I've put it in the book. This wonderful piece of art right here. This was great, but I think this kind of got overshadowed by this thing. And I totally don't remember seeing like a notification or update or anything on the Kickstarter that said I'd be getting that. So it was a complete surprise. It blindsided me. I feel like I've entered some weird world I don't know about. Like, I've just tasted the world of Steve Ditko, and there's something here, something deep. Robin Snyder ran the Kickstarter, and I recognize the name vaguely, like, you know, one of those, like, yeah, I've heard the name, but I can't place it. And I looked, and they work together all the time and stuff, and so there's like this whole thing. I don't know anything about it. It's there, and I'm just like touching the surface very gently, like that, hoping not to ripple it. You know, see, did you like how I did that wave with the camera? Like, that was a ripple. That was some slick filmmaking, right? So this is just, it's weird, and I don't understand exactly everything that's going on here, but it's really cool. I'm really happy with this Kickstarter. I actually have to read the book, but I was too excited. Like, this package made me so very excited. I was too excited to sit down and just read it before talking about it. But I like what I'm seeing. Every time I open up one of these pages, I see something that just looks good. This is some really solid line work. I mean, it's, I guess if you want to get to it, it's like kind of old school. I'll admit that. It's definitely old school. Like, you look at this and it's like, yeah, this is a style that nobody really works in anymore. But I like it. I like it a lot. Thanks so much for letting me ramble at you. If you haven't had a chance to check any of this stuff out, like, go Google this. I Googled it a little bit before making the video, and there's like I said, there's this whole weird world of Steve Ditko out there. I like it. I like it a lot.